Now my stream shall be up again in 2 minutes. So we can actually start the game again, since this is now recording and will be up on the stream.
All right.
Nice. So we do see 5-man from 5manMID rotating to the bottom lane, into the woods.
Yeah.
Perhaps they want another pick off like they did last game.
Yeah, they would want to pick off, but there's no one there. They might rotate mid, waiting for the Invoker to go forward. At this level, Invoker don't really have any escape. If he goes Quas Wex, which I would assume he does, then he can get Ghost Walk. But before that, he's pretty easy to pick off.
Yeah, he's gone 3 in Quas as at first level, so we'll see how that works out. Not entirely uncommon lanes we're seeing. Let's present the teams, by the way. I'll start with the Dire. We have Big Daddy Sven playing the Phantom Lancer, Soul Trader playing the Keeper of the Light, Captain Galactic playing Vengeful Spirit, Dr. Ouroboros playing Mirana, and Exilium playing the Elder Titan.
Yes, and on the Dire we have Starks playing the Earthshaker. We have... Jesus. Okay, there we go. Yugi, the stand-in on the Windrunner. On Crystal Maiden we have Fate Weaver. We have Old Sport playing Luna. And we have, on the Invoker, Sora.
So we did see that they backed off. They decided not to try to get a first blood in the middle. And Mirana picked up a haste rune on the bottom lane and has rotated slightly to the top lane, but she's now in the river hanging out.
Yeah, the problem with doing things like this is that she's not getting XP.
Yeah.
And she does hit an arrow on Fate Weaver. But it doesn't really do anything. She will get the XP now though, however. She did lose a little XP, I think. But she should be alright. The thing I'm a bit confused about is the Gloves of Haste on the Invoker as first item. It is for a Midas, I'm pretty sure, but
most likely.
Usually when people go for the Quas, they start with the Blaze of Attack just because the base damage is so low.
Now we're seeing a bit of a harassment from the Vengeful Spirit and the Cuddle on the bottom lane on the Windrunner, but she pops her Windrun and runs away. Yeah. Also, Crystal Maiden taking a lot of damage, probably got hit by another arrow and had to pop her salve to get up to full health again.
Yeah, Dr. Ouroboros apologizing for firing so many arrows at the Crystal Maiden.
Poor CM.
Yeah. Seems like I'm having a little trouble with my UI.
Oh, okay.
Should work out. Well, yeah, okay. Looking at the lanes, we have both teams pulling and the supports sharing the XP from the pull on the Dire, while there is a single support pulling on the Radiant. The thing with playing Keeper of the Light support is that he can actually jungle fairly well by himself, which is why I would probably prefer to see the Vengeful Spirit pulling and the Cuddle actually stacking the big camp and then farming it with Illuminate.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the top lane, we saw a couple of hits being traded. The Crystal Maiden spotted out the Mirana and decided to Crystal Nova and Frostbite him, but in the meantime, Mirana hit an arrow on the Earthshaker, so a bit of hits being traded, but Mirana very low on mana now and only has mana for 1 leap, so she'll have to be careful now that they're rotating in. We see that the Earthshaker rotating in, Crystal Maiden as well, and he lands the Sun, but on the wrong side, and we're gonna get a Frostbite out. There comes the leap, and we're not gonna see Crystal Nova out because Crystal Maiden has no mana left, but a bit of a Ras going the way towards Mirana, and she'll have to back off a bit at least and pop a Tango.
Yeah, the Crystal Nova wouldn't have been enough, so she was safe. However, now she can't leap. She almost has enough mana, but 10-second cooldown, so until she can actually leap, she will need to stay back. But as long as she can leap, she should feel pretty safe in the lane.
Now Elder Titan picking up an Invis rune in his bottle, so he might be able to create a gang or two with that. He's not getting the same fabulous start as last game, but that was an extraordinary start for him, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, Invoker doing fairly well. He's actually leading the last hits, which is kind of surprising considering he went for Quas.
Yeah.
Which makes it kind of difficult for him to last it, but he's doing really well, so that's good for him. He's almost actually has his Midas.
I think
and
we're
the
seeing
Elder Titan a bit further down.
Yeah, I think we're seeing fairly equal lanes, though. We do have both Luna and Phantom Lancer leading their lanes they have a fairly big lead. And the mid lanes, even though Invoker has a slight advantage, it's not by much yet, but that might spiral as he gets his Midas early on.
Yeah, and now we're starting to see the real annoyance. The PL land spam together with the Coddle.
Yeah.
He has started harassing the offlaner that way, and that is just horrible to be up against.
Yeah. We also see that Earthshaker and Crystal Maiden rotating through middle towards the bottom lane, so perhaps they want to set up a gang on the supports, perhaps on the bottom lane. I don't think they would be able to, although they have a lot of stuns. If they land Shackle, Fissure, and Frostbite, that might be able to finish off PL before he can run away. But they do have wards on the bottom lane, so they're running right past the wards. And Earthshaker picking up a DD, but he's not going to be able to do much about that. Instead, Elder Titan now rotating bottom with that Invis rune, so perhaps they're going to turn the tables on these poor little supports. They're scouting out with the Terror Wave, seeing the Crystal Maiden, and we also have a port in from the Mirana. Mirana now have a bottle, and she's going to throw out an arrow. There lands the arrow. Oh, that's an arrow. And that's the Illuminate from the Coddle, and Earthshaker getting very low, being caught out by that lance, and all will go down. Now comes the second Spirit Lance, and that's gonna catch the Windrunner, who has already popped Windrunner, and he goes down to the Mirana. So very well played from 5manMID there, I'd say, rotating in and yeah, actually catching them off guard.
Yeah, that's actually a really good rotation coming from both the Elder Titan and the Mirana. Him having that invisibility rune made such a big difference, getting the two-man stomp there. I think the Windrunner should have backed off earlier, which could have prevented her from dying, but yeah, really nice rotation coming from the Radiant, and at the same time though, the Invoker does finish his Midas.
Yeah, I agree. We see that Invoker and Luna still on top in the farming game, so they're getting good farm at least, so that's good. But yeah, it's really nice for all of the heroes on the Radiant side to get those 3 kills together. That's a huge boost for them.
Yeah, but at the same time, the Phantom Lancer did have the kill, and he's a little bit below the Luna, but not enough to actually make a difference when it comes to last hits. So it's pretty even actually still, even though at least between the carries.
I agree, definitely.
We'll actually see the Phantom Lancer has accumulated 1200 gold, so we'll see if he actually chooses to go for a Midas. I would not really suggest it. No, there we go. He's actually starting to build drums first, even before finishing his boots.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, usually, well, I haven't seen a lot of drums lately, especially on Phantom Lancers, but getting it even before boots, that's very unusual.
Yeah, I'm thinking he probably wants the mobility, or perhaps he just wants the int boost. I'm not sure. It's not a bad item pickup, but I'm not sure why he's prioritizing it.
Yeah, it's not a bad pickup at all. It's not at all unusual for carriers to go for the drums, but getting it before boots, that's the thing that might be considered a bit strange.
Now we do see an Invis rune on the top being picked up by the Earthshaker. We don't have a ward for the Mirana, so they might be able to catch her off guard. She does have the leap, which is a pretty good counter against the Fissure, so it doesn't really matter if he lands it on the right side because she's going to be able to leap away.
Yeah, exactly. And the Invoker, he did go for Crosswork, so he doesn't have a Sunstrike to use if they would want to go for that. So yeah, They won't be able to kill the Mirana, but they can harass her.
There we go, though. That loosen beam is just hurting so much, and the Fissure Stun comes out, but it's only level 1, so it doesn't really do any real damage. And Mirana can pour it out, pop some bottle charges, and she is firing in a warning shot in the form of her arrow.
Yeah, using her mana before she actually bottles up, it's a good move.
Yeah.
Make it extra effective. And the Crystal Maiden has rotated bot, but she won't really be able to do anything here. If anything, she's in danger.
Yeah, I agree. Here we go. They find her. And the Mirana ulti is popped, but I think she also spotted out that they were going to use it, so she rotates back and we see a teleport in from the Earthshaker. But
Yeah,
he's only level 3 as well, so he can't really do much.
Yeah, the CM did see the Mirana ult being popped, so she ran back and actually made the Mirana ult completely useless, basically. It did nothing.
Yeah.
But at this point in the game, it does have a long cooldown, but it won't really have that much of an effect.
Yeah. We also see that Earthshaker actually has Dust picked up, so that's pretty interesting. They really want to counter that Mirana ulti. And Windrunner getting very low now, but she's going to be able to escape, even though Phantom Lancer does have the mana for his Spirit Lance, but he decides not to chase, and Dust was being popped by the Earthshaker as well, so a pretty good, I think it was the right call from a 5manMID. Decided to harass a bit, but backed off, and in no danger of being killed. And now the Team Redding or Team Amaze was able to catch off a Observer Ward right when it was planted, so that's really nice for them, taking away that vision early.
Yeah. The Dust was wasted, which is not good at this point because Earthshaker is very poor. He doesn't even have his boost at this point, and he's pretty under-leveled as well. Looking at the Keeper of the Light and the Vengeful, they're 5 and 4, while the CM and the Earthshaker are 4 and 3, so they really need experience here. And there's another rotation coming in from both the Mirana and the Elder Titan.
That Elder Titan hit so hard with a charge of Astral Spirit and that double damage, so they catch out the Crystal Maiden. Even though I think what Team Amazing was trying to do is trying to get that ward on the bottom. They do see it with the Sentry Ward, I think. No, wait, that's just out of bounds, I think. That Sentry Ward. So they don't know that 5manMID has a ward on the bottom lane right now.
Yeah, and there was actually a attempt to kill the Elder Titan, but the Fissure was on the wrong side, and the EMP almost completely missed. So he was able to get away after purchasing his Arcane Boots.
Yeah, and he was back up to almost full mana instantly. So.
Yeah, and the drums are finished on Phantom Lancer. We'll see. He does finish his power treads as well. Drums are of course good, but I would prefer them on the Elder Titan. Usually we see Elder Titans going for the drums first, but if he does anything like he did last game, we will see a mech coming out from the Elder Titan.
Yeah.
Personally, I would prefer mech on Keeper of the Light.
I agree with that. I agree. I like the mech pickup overall, but I think it would be better suited on the Keeper of the Light. Now we do see CM rotating in. She only has boots and is fairly low on mana, only has room for one spell. An Elder Titan running around in his Invis, and they might want to try to catch someone off. They have Vengeful and Mirana as backup to the Elder Titan. And the Team Redding are looking to do something, but we get the stun out and missed arrow, and now we see the ultimate getting out from the Elder Titan with a stun, and Luna is gonna be dead. She almost she tries to get the Elder Titan and is very close to getting Mirana, who only escapes with around 11 HP, but Mirana is almost caught out by that tornado, and here comes the EMP. It drains the Elder Titan of all his mana, but doesn't damage him enough, and that Fissure stun isn't far enough and catches him on the wrong side. So 5manMID escaping just barely without
that was
getting killed.
Extremely close to the Mirana dying. The Crystal Maiden was actually about 5 mana away from her Crystal Nova, which would have finished Mirana off. Yeah. And the tornado just missing.
It was very close.
A bit of luck and well played from Dr. Ouroboros on the Mirana.
Yeah. And what I was about to say earlier was what I like from Team Amazing or Redding is that they've had their Luna has been able to farm. She's level 9 and she has some pretty decent farm right now. So they haven't 5manMID haven't shut down her, but here we go on the top lane. I think that will be it for Vengeful Spirit. Yes, a great EMP which drained Vengeful Spirit. She had no ability to stun, but they lose 2 in the process. So not a good trade-off for them, losing both Earthshaker and Crystal Maiden to that tower damage and to that Mirana. Now Mirana will land the stun on the Windrunner and she will go down. Invoker is in very big trouble. He's on very low health, but he's gonna be able to escape, or is he? That Mirana needs one more hit and he's gonna get it, and that's it for Invoker. So triple kill for the Invoker, for the Mirana, who's now low on health but does have that arrow. Luna chasing after with the Lucent Beam. Can he get it off? And yes, he will cut out the Mirana. So good job there, although from Luna, to get that kill at least. And now we do see the Elder Titan fairly low on health, and Earthshaker, no, he decides not to throw out the stun. He throws out the stun now towards the Vengeful Spirit instead.
Looking at the Earthshaker, the stun would probably not actually have killed off the Elder Titan. But that was a really long, drawn-out fight. In total, I think it was 4 dead for Team Amaze and 2 dead for 5manMID.
Yeah.
So definitely a win for 5manMID, especially as it was Amaze that actually initiated, and they have more heroes rotated. They did at the start.
And we do have the Coddle, who is now ahead in the last hit in ice and has decided he's just farming on now. So they have, not the Coddle, the PL of course, sorry. Who is just being left alone on the bottom lane and is able to get that farm up, which he desperately needs. Now comes the Tornado EMP combo, and that's going to be it for Vengeful Spirit. Nice catch up by them. The Crystal Maiden gets the kill with the Frostbite. A lot of damage going out, and now Crystal Maiden being drained of almost all her health with that Mirana arrow, and that's a long stun, but 5manMID decides, no, we're not going to go on this. There's a bit too many people here from Team Amazing, which I think is the right call.
Yeah, indeed, it's the right call. If they were to engage the Invoker, have things like Cold Snap, there is the Earthshaker stun. Actually, not the Earthshaker stun, but they thought there was an Earthshaker stun, and there is the Luna. So they can't really engage with 3 against the 4 that
there we go, that's another Mirana arrow catching out the Earthshaker, and Earthshaker will go down. The Crystal Maiden on very low health, but here comes the Tornado EMP, and that's going to drain all the mana on Elder Titan, and Elder Titan is going to go down. The ulti was popped from Luna, and that's a trade-off, which I think is in favor of Team Amaze.
Indeed. Getting the Elder Titan down is really good, especially now he's trying to build his mech, having the headrest, and he can afford the buckler. But delaying the mech is definitely really good, but the Crystal Maiden does go down in return, so it's a 2-for-2 trade in total. But since it was the mid player dying for 5manMID, it would be in the favor of Team Amaze.
Yeah. There's a lot of back and forth actually, as we see now in the XP graph, which has gone from in the lead Team Amaze to 2k lead to 5manMID to now 0 lead to a very neutral state. So it's been a lot of back and forth now.
Yes, a drastic change in the XP graph.
Yeah.
And looking at the Titan again, he goes for the max in Stomp and Natural Spirit. I still prefer Natural Order over Stomp. Getting 1 point in Stomp is fine, but maxing it over Natural Order, I would not suggest.
I agree. And here comes another Tornado EMP from the Invoker, so he's really perfecting that. And I think he's using it in the right way. And here comes a Mirana arrow, and it almost hits the Invoker, and that would probably have been a jump. And here comes the Stomp, which catches out both Invoker and the Crystal Maiden. And Crystal Maiden dies, but here comes the Stun from Earthshaker. Can they turn this around? They have used the Cold Snap on the Keeper of the Light, and he's very close to going down. The very tiny swap from the Vengeful Spirit, and that Tornado finally catches out the Keeper of the Light, but that's a great ultimate from the Elder Titan, getting the Luna. Earthshaker went down to the Mirana, and once again, I think 5manMID, they're having the luck on their side. Yes, they lose the Keeper of the Light, but it takes so much from Team Amazing to finally get him down.
Yeah, one big thing is what we talked about at the beginning, that Fisher actually blocked them quite a bit in the start of that fight. It was a good Fisher at first, hitting 3 people, but when they were going to chase the Keeper of the Light, they were actually blocked and had to run around. And at the same time, the Elder Titan is hitting really good stomps.
I agree.
Even so, I still wouldn't say it's
And here comes a
necessarily.
kill on the Vengeful Spirit. The Crystal Maiden rotates in and finishes him off after a whole lot of damage from the Dire team. And they
Yeah.
won't probably be able to get the Crystal Maiden. They've popped the Mirana ulti. And here comes another stomp, and it catches out the Windrunner, but only the Windrunner. No ultimate out from the Elder Titan. It's on cooldown, so they're gonna have to wait for that.
Yeah. They know they shouldn't engage. There are 4 of them here. Earthshaker even has a haste rune. So they should just try to back off,
Yeah,
which they are.
I think that's the right call. They noticed something was going on. They don't have a ward up on the bottom lane, so they knew something was happening and they decided to rotate out. And now we have the Phantom Lancer illusion scouting them out, seeing that they're 4. So Phantom Lancer taking it fairly easy and getting closer to his Diffusal Blade. He's only around 300 gold away from it, so that's a nice pickup.
Yeah, that's actually the most important thing with the fights we've seen so far. Just like we saw last game, there are only 5 people fighting from 5manMID. The Phantom Lancer has been farming this entire time, reaching actually the second net worth, because the Invoker is actually doing a really good job, and his Midas is making such a big difference.
Now we do
But
see an
Phantom
EMP
Lancer has
coming
just
out,
been
and
farmed.
here comes the ultimate from the... Oh, it catches out no one! Nicely done from... But there, the Astral Spirit finishes off the Crystal Maiden. Sorry for interrupting you, what were you saying?
No, yes, that the Phantom Lancer has been farming this entire time, giving him a really high net worth, and his farm is definitely better than Luna's. Luna is about to finish her BKB, but the Phantom Lancer is about to finish his Diffusal. Now, in the mid game, before Luna gets like really farmed, he's actually not really that strong against the PL, since he negates her Eclipse with all his illusions, and her right clicks doesn't really do enough damage for her to actually kill the illusions really quickly. However, when you reach the really late game and she got like when she's 6-slotted, she kills the illusions really quickly, and I would say she's the better carry.
I agree with that. We also saw a pretty nice play there from 5manMID on the bottom lane. They were Team Amazing were trying to push the bottom tower, and Windrunner had her ulti on it, but they managed to kill her and deny the tower. So that was a rough ride for Team Amaze.
Yeah, the thing I really like since the buff to EMP that we saw in 6.79 has returned the Quasrex Invoker, and this Sora is actually really good with hitting his EMPs.
Yeah.
And they just drain so much mana. He got a hit on the Phantom Lancer that drained every little bit of mana he had, and the same with the Elder Titan, which has his mech now. But just look at that EMP draining all the mana from Elder Titan. He can't even use his mech. He can't even use his mech because he has no mana left.
I agree. They will lose 2 heroes though. That was a nice swap from Vengeful Spirit, who managed to dodge the EMP. We did see that the Elder Titan lost his mana, but they did catch out the Invoker, who couldn't run away in time, and also the Earthshaker. So 5manMID, even though they're having some good plays against them, especially from the Invoker right now, they're turning it in their own favor.
Yeah. The Invoker dying was indeed thanks to a nice swap from the Vengeful Spirit, but the Earthshaker was just playing way too aggressive. I don't think he needed to die there. He should have just ran back.
I agree.
But regardless, it was a nice fight from 5manMID, but they need to start fighting fairly soon. With their Phantom Lancer has finished the Diffusal, so they should be able to take fights really soon.
Yeah, definitely. He's getting a bit stronger, and with the mana from the Coddle, he can be more of a presence, spam his lands a bit more, and get some more illusions up. So I definitely think you're right that there should be a bit more of a pressure from their side right now.
Yeah. We'll see now if he actually chooses to go. Last game he went for the Yasha before going for a heart, but we'll see if he actually does that this game, because in that game they had a bit more of a lead.
Yeah. And we do see there that we're gonna get another catch out from the 5manMID, and that's a bad ulti from Luna. Luna pops her ulti, but is slowed by Elder Titan's ultimate. She couldn't pop her BKB in time, and she also wastes her one of her BKB charges. So once again, Elder Titan doing a good job. 5manMID overall doing a good job. Nice swap, catching out that Earthshaker, and they managed to get away from the fight pretty much on top. No one lost, and Earthshaker down.
Yeah, as well as the 10-second BKB charge. Actually, that was the 9-second BKB that's gone now, and the Eclipse is on a 110-second cooldown. This is the time where I want 5manMID to actually push now. Push the tier 1 mid, because that is the most important tower to get down.
Yeah. They are ahead, both in experience and in gold, with about a 3k gold lead in both. So I think it will be the right decision. Now Earthshaker picking up an Invis rune, but that should be spotted out by that Observer ward, even though they're losing their Observer ward now. 5manMID, that is, on top lane. So 5manMID should, they're backing off a bit in the mid lane. We do see that Keeper of the Light is trying to just negate the push and making sure that Amaze is just being held at in the river.
Yeah, indeed. I would want them to push, but it's still dangerous. The Earthshaker ult just went off cooldown. Granted, the Crystal Maiden hasn't actually skilled her ultimate yet, but
here comes a stun though from the Earthshaker in the middle. They're trying to catch out the Coddle, but instead Earthshaker is running right into an arrow, into a Stomp and Astral Spirit, and that's going to be it for him. Now Invoker getting very low, needs about 2 hits from the Mirana to die, but no, Mirana decides to back off. She does have some extra speed from that jump, and Luna getting caught out by the Elder Titan ulti, and we're going to see a Stomp. It catches out the Windrunner, but Luna having popped her BKB, she's going to get the Vengeful Spirit before she dies. But the Starfall kicks out the Crystal Maiden, and they kill the Windrunner as well. So now we're seeing some kind of steamroll here from 5manMID. They decided we're gonna go in, and they basically got a team wipe. They didn't get the Invoker,
this is exactly what I wanted to see from them. Just go in, take the fight. The Luna does not have Eclipse. She did have BKB, but it wasn't the 8-second charge instead of the 9, which can actually make quite a big difference. So just they got the tier 1 mid down, and they just extended the lead, which is really strong.
Yeah. Now Mirana hits a stun on Invoker, but they decide they're not going to jump in. They have some nice long-range harass with that Astral Spirit and that Coddle Illuminate, so not at all bad for them. They do some damage to the Invoker without even really having to be there.
Yeah, and the Invoker has actually finished an Aghanim Scepter now, going for Aghanim's first, which I like it a lot. He seems to be really good at the hero, so he can actually handle the Aghanims, and it seems like the Elder Titan is going for a pipe, which is also really good against the lineup.
I think Pipe is a really great pickup. All of the heroes they're facing have some form of magic damage they really want to get out. And just negating, which it could be a total of 2,000, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I cannot answer that completely.
Yeah, it could be a total of 2,400 per person.
Yes. And yeah, the Mirana has finished a Man-Stallion. It seems like the PL...
Another Tornado EMP.
He got something. Yeah, he did go for the Yasha first.
Okay.
I'm not sure I agree with that, though.
The Invoker... You wanted him to go, like a heart?
I would have wanted him to go for the heart first. The Invoker has such a big impact on the Phantom Lancer, considering he's not actually a BKB hero.
Yeah. Now we do see a bit of a failed play from the 5manMID team, and a nice stun from Earthshaker, cancelling out that Echo Stomp, and a missed arrow from Mirana. So they managed to do a lot of damage on Earthshaker, but they won't be able to get him. And now a swap and a stun on the Invoker, and the ultimate coming out from that Elder Titan, and Invoker going very low on health, but he escapes with 60 health in that Ghost Walk. No dusts or sentries up, I think, on 5manMID.
Yeah. Really nice Ghost Walk from the Invoker, and the Windrunner actually popped her Buckler, which reduced the damage he took. She's getting really close to the mech as well, but just the increased armor helping the Invoker survive there.
I agree. And a mech will also be a really nice pickup for Team Amaze. That will boost their damage. That could help them turn the team fights. And now we get another Tornado EMP, but it misses, so And we do see that
Yeah.
the Crystal Maiden is getting caught out, and that stun is gonna land from Mirana, and that's it for Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, they did get the tower and then they just backed off, which I think was the right move here. They should be careful not to overextend because they would want to keep the lead that they have right now and not throw it away. They should indeed they ping the top tower, they should rotate off.
I think that's the case. Meanwhile, we do seem that Amaze is preparing for a base defense, but I think they'll realize pretty soon that 5manMID has backed off.
Yeah. They should also realize that they have a ward that's actually running out right now in the fountain, so they should the river, I mean. So they should have seen the rotation going top, so they should be getting ready for that.
Yeah, they are pushing out the middle lane a bit. I don't know if they're gonna try to commit to a tower. It doesn't really look like they're gonna do that. Instead, we see Earthshaker rotating towards the top lane, but he's quite alone right now.
Yeah, he can't really do much by himself. He could do a slight Fisher block, but that's not really enough at this point. It seems like they will just let the tower go. They're trying to rotate now, but as we said, he cannot do enough. The Invoker TPing in, but it's too late. The tower is going down.
And Mirana gets it now, so a nice leap there to avoid the meteor. And we do see a tornado coming out, but no EMP. And here comes the Mirana ultimate, so they realize they're gonna get a bit hunted, and they are rotating out.
Yeah.
We do see Mirana once again. They're going for a double diffusal setup in team 5manMID.
Yeah, and which it is really strong though. The supports are weak and mana dependent, as well as the Invoker is also really mana dependent, especially with the Aghanim's. So burning that mana is gonna make them much less useful in the team fights, which is really strong.
Yeah. We see that the Invoker gets hit up by a Mirana stun, but they're not gonna commit to that.
Yeah, and looking at the Invoker as well, he has 1 point in Exode, which means that the Meteor, as well as the other fire abilities, will not do that much damage. And I think he should prioritize them less behind the other ones.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now we do see Keeper of the Light having a Necronomicon up. So that's a nice addition for their pushing power, and if he manages to get it upgraded, I really like the True Sight as well. They don't have any Invis right now except for the Ghost Walk, but that's still a really nice item, I think.
Yeah, Necro Book has becoming much more popular in 6.79. And look at that EMP. That's a beautiful EMP from the Invoker. And a nice shackle as well.
I think lots of good things there, and there comes the stun. And they did pick up the Crystal Maiden with that stun, but a bad ultimate from the Elder Titan, and we see that the Eclipse manages to get out the Vengeful Spirit. So a bit of a trade-off there. Nicely done with the pipe, which actually saved the Vengeful Spirit earlier on, but the team Amaze still managed to get him in the end.
Yeah, however, using the Luna ult to get one Vengeful Spirit, I feel that it's a bit of a waste. They really wanted to do more damage, but it's really difficult fighting both under a creep wave as well as all the PL illusions.
Yeah.
Which is why at this point in the game, Luna is not as effective as she wants to be.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a wrestle with Luna. Luna is good, as you said, when she has the items to counter the PL illusions, but at the same time, at this state of the game, the illusions are just too many. They instead negate the Eclipse.
Yeah, exactly. So looking around, the teams have now gone to a more passive stance. They're farming. The Mirana getting an Invis rune. She might be able to. She actually did finish her Diffusal Blade now, which means that she will hit fast and she will burn the mana. And yeah, as I said, against the lineup of Amaze, that's really good.
Yeah. We also see Invoker picking up a Blink Dagger, and Luna has her, and now we see a smoke from Team Amaze. They want to find a pickoff. They see that they had Mirana in the middle, but they're not going to be able to find her. Although they're rotating into the woods, but they're going to be caught out by the Elder Titan, who now knows that they are in their woods. But that's a nice ultimate from Mirana, really catching them out. But he decides to try and do a stomp, and here comes the dust from Team Amaze, and they're going to find an Elder Titan kill.
That was the longest shackle ever.
Yeah, feels like it.
It was an incredibly long shackle, but nevertheless, it was good.
Yeah,
And the PL has spotted his Reaver now, and it is at the same time taking down the tier 2. I don't think he would run away, but he's not completely certain where the rest of the Dire team are, so
he
it's a
decides
good
to just
decision.
let Mirana and her illusions and his illusions farm it off. And now Cuddle TP's out the Mirana, so she's now safe from farm with the Invoker just at her heels. So there was the entire, almost the entire Team Amaze rotating in towards the top lane.
Yeah, and they get nothing. So really well played here from 5manMID. Just pushing just enough to get the tower and then backing off instantly. The PL getting closer and closer to that heart, which will make him really difficult to kill off, especially since the Luna, she does finish her Manta style right now, but she needs more at this point in the game. It's 35 minutes in almost.
Yeah, I agree. I do like the Black King bar as a first pickup, since it gave her. They do have a lot of magic damage and magic stuns, etc. on 5manMID, but she hasn't really got that extraordinary form since then.
Yeah, she needs some damage items like a butterfly or something like that, because at this point she does not do enough damage against the heart PL.
Yeah.
And it seems like they all rotate bot now. It seems like the team 5manMID wants to push that tier 2 bot, the last tier 2 standing.
Yeah.
But actually, the Windrunner are almost going down to a solo Mirana here. So it looks like they want to defend, but it's difficult at this point.
And a nice harass coming out from the Mirana, who has both her Manta style and her Diffusal Blade, so she can drain some mana pretty nicely when that is up. And they catch out the Invoker with a 5-second stun. Astral Spirit coming in and trying to stomp, but he's gonna miss. And also Mirana ulti has gone out, so they have to be careful, and they actually catch out the Crystal Maiden, and a meteor coming out, and now Invoker being drained of his mana, and he's gonna go down. Earthshaker going in, using his ulti, but it does nothing with that pipe coming into play, and we see Luna going out, popping her ulti, almost getting the Mirana, but she goes down as well. So that's a 4-0, and they're gonna get the tier 2 tower, no sweat. Only poor Windrunner, who left the fight to go regen after that first encounter with Mirana. So we're gonna see probably a tier 3, at least some pressure, but they might not get it down. It depends on what the Team Amaze decides to do.
Yeah,
Are we
Rax
even gonna
is
see
most
Rax
definitely
now?
going down. Yeah, indeed. The Invoker and Luna are both dead for a really long time, so there's no way the supports can defend this by themselves. And we saw the pipe had such a big impact there, and the Invoker going for the Meteor instead of the EMP. I don't think the EMP was on cooldown, so I'm not sure on the decision there, but he only has 3 points in Exords. His Meteor doesn't do that much damage. And we even see 5manMID rotating to Roshan right now.
Yeah. And we see Mirana picking up an Eagle Song. Vengeful Spirit has her push staff, so a lot of items coming out now for 5manMID.
Yeah, indeed. And Kotl actually finished his Necro free. The PL finished Heart and is going to finish his Manta style. And we see a Mystic Staff pick up on the Elder Titan. Team 5manMID is really farmed right now. While looking at the items on the Team Amaze, it's not that much. Invoker picked up a Blink, but other than that, yeah, there's a 4-staff on Crystal Maiden as well, but it's not that much.
Yeah, we see that they're getting closer to 10k exp ahead, and they're around 17 gold ahead, so it's a pretty big lead for 5manMID. We do, however, see that we get a smoke rotation in towards the Roshan, but Earthshake, Elder Titan catches him out, he pops his ultimate and he's going to be able to catch the Invoker, who's not slowed, but he pops his Ghost Walk. Will Mirana try to do something? Mirana has popped her own ulti, and here comes the Terror Wave from the Vengeful Spirit. We get the Crystal Maiden ulti, it catches out the Elder Titan. Elder Titan is taking a lot of damage, and Elder Titan will go down. We didn't see a stun in time from the Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit is killed by the tornado, and we do see that Luna manages to pick off Mirana with her ultimate, so that's a fairly good trade for Team Amaze, I'd say. Luna getting the double kill, and 5manMID not getting all the kills they would want out of that fight. They were not as coordinated as they have been in earlier fights, I'd say. They didn't really get to initiate the way they wanted to.
Yeah, the Elder Titan getting caught out there. I'm very confused about throwing his ultimate as he did. throwing it
Yeah.
only on the Invoker when he really didn't have any follow-up, and you know the Invoker has Ghost Walk. So I would say some bad plays from the other Titan and some confusion within the team, causing them to spread out a lot. Generally, I don't like using the Eclipse on a single target, but at this point, I'd say it was okay because they are far behind, and they need to shut down the Mirana as well as the PL.
Yeah.
So it was alright. The PL has actually finished his Manta style now as well, getting more and more farm. The Luna finished Manta as well and has purchased an Eagle Song, so she's getting towards a Butterfly.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
she needs more, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you. We'll see if she can if she can pick up a butterfly that could help against the PL illusions. And I don't. PL has now picked up his Manta style, so we'll see what he'll do over the next couple of minutes. But I'm not sure what his next item pickup will be. Elder Titan is looking either to go for a Shivas, I'd say. And now we see an initiation on the Invoker. He gets a swap, and we'll see if they can catch him out. Earthshaker blinking in, using his ulti on only Phantom Lancer, and he's almost going down, but he gets saved, and that's an Elder Titan ulti that hits no one. Spirit Land's going in on Luna, but she pops the BKB to run away. The Echo Stomp comes out, but he hits no one. So a lot of spells hitting no one or very few people right now.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates thrown on one or no one. We do see Invoker going down. I'm not sure why he was hanging around there still.
Yeah,
But
that
at this
sounds like
point, the Invoker is down. The Eclipse is up, but her BKB is down. So I say they should push. They actually choose Roshan, which is also a really good choice. Because there's not really any way for their Dire to contest this with all their ultimates down.
We see that the Dire team are rotating in, though. Invoker has bought back, but Roshan very low now. There comes the EMP tornado, and now PL has actually no mana, but he does pick up the kill and the Aegis, and now we see a low HP Crystal Maiden. She goes down. Luna getting stunned, and she goes down as well. Earthshaker going down as well. The Meteor does nothing. There comes the Deafening Blast, but they're chasing the Windrunner, who decides to pop her Windwalk, but a swap coming out from the Vengeful Spirit, and that's a GG being called by Team Amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly why they really should not try to contest that Roche. Getting caught by that stomp at the stairs there, I think it was a 3-man stomp.
Yeah.
When they don't even have the Earthshaker ult, they don't have BKB, and Invoker is a bit too far back.
Yeah.
They just can't really handle that when they're just far behind.
It's just such a choke point when you go to the Roshan, especially from the Radiant side. You know that everyone is up that hill. He puts up his Social Spirit, and as you say, he hits 3 people with a stomp.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicely done though by them. So we're looking now at the next stream, which will be happening in around 20 minutes. I will be rebooting the stream for everyone who's watching, since that makes it easier for our admins. So we'll be right back after the stream is coming up again. So have a good one until then. Bye.